All right. I want to welcome everybody back to the P Pod and back to another episode of Three Ps on a Pod. I am one of your hosts. I am LB Shari.
I'm Kelly B.
Jametrice Thomas.
Ciara has, I guess, I'm not sure if the song has dropped yet or not. There is a song she has coming out called Jump. I don't know if you've seen the clips of the videos. If not, I suggest you take a look at it. But just for that very reason, there is a clip that she put out as like a teaser trailer or whatever for the music video that she's getting ready to do. So that being said, I'm just going to slide this over a little bit. So doing which she dropped this clip. And like I said, it's not the full clip. I'm just going to show you the conversation that came up in one of my groups. So the conversation that came up in one of the groups is, so if you could take a look at this gentleman, because she dropped the Jump teaser trailer. He says, and I blacked him out because we ain't giving you no props around here. And he said, have to love this good old wife behavior. I absolutely want to see my wife dressed and dancing like this with her friends on a Bronco at a gas station. Give the exact image that I like my daughter to want to emulate. And that is just like a small clip of how so it's ladies at the doors. There's a lady in the front of the vehicle and she's at the very top and they're basically twerking on top of the vehicle. So
I saw this clip.
You have, like, I ain't gonna lie now. She popping hard as I don't know. I said, girl, get it. Because, honey, I ain't got it no more. Like, I can do it, but I ain't trying to be throwing no leg up on top of the Bronco. Get a leg and popping. And so this brings up the conversation about what you want out of your relationship. Where is there really even a concept of what we like to say, quote unquote, wife material? So in this particular situation, I have my thoughts on it just in the sense of she ain't your wife. So why you worrying about what she doing? I'm pretty sure if Russell had a problem, he would have said something before she dropped that little snippet that she dropped. Number two, it's really amazing. There's a comic that said this on Instagram recently. It's really amazing that all these men have these ideas of what they call wife material, but they have no idea what wife material is because they're not husband material and their mamas wasn't even wives. So how do you know what a wife material is? Because you didn't have the image growing up. So it's really hilarious that all these single men have all these conversations about what's wife material. But just to jump into that, Jametrice.
Well, I think that it's okay for you to want what you want in your relationship. The girl was she's a dancer, okay? And she wasn't no ballet dancer when we met her. So she was, you want to ride. Like she had all the vibrations going with the hips and the legs. And she's a hip hop dancer, and he knew what he signed on for. That's why
she's been talking about her goodies since her first album.
Right, my goodies, not my goodies. So at the end of the day, now when she was having Future pray before sex, allegedly, I guess I don't know if she's ever said that, but I think that's what he said. Right now, she's a praying woman. You see what I'm saying?
But wait a minute, what?
Lord, help me receive this ding-a-ling gracefully. And like, what is that?
What I'm saying is it's like I always had a thing with people when they felt like, just like this whole stigma about like people that go to church and like, say I went to church Sunday, but you seen me at the bar Monday, as if I can't do the two. So
mind your business.
Because I'm human. I can be at church in the pew it's Sunday and be at the bar down to Monday. She could be a wife and be twerking on a car Tuesday if that's what she want to do, because she dances. She wears they take pictures, they're celebrities, they take pictures half naked, so it's so many things that go into so much this so-called wife material. I'm not a wife, never been one yet. Hopefully I'll become one. But whatever my husband, whatever you meet me as and whatever, I don't want to embarrass my husband, but at the same time, she's not embarrassing her husband because this is who she is. We know Ciara as a dancer. We know her as a booty shaker, pop, lock, and dropping it. Like, so that's nothing far from the norm. But when you start to put on like, oh, so this is wife material, this, you sound like a hater. You sound mad because you ain't found your booty popping wife. And so you sound like a hater. You know what I mean? You sound like somebody that's always projecting what you feel on other people. And wait till you become a husband. And if you are a husband, great. And if your wife ain't on top of cars twerking, great. That's like you said, that's not your wife. That has nothing to do with you. And at the end of the day, she's gonna go home to her husband and pop that booty on him.
Hello. Kelly.
I agree. That's not your wife. That's not it. And it's a big epidemic of people trying to tell, especially men, trying to tell people what wife, what husband should do. And the first question you ask, oh, is that what your daddy used to do? Oh, my daddy went around. Oh, go figure. Okay. Oddly enough. But you know how a nuclear family works, and you ain't been in one the first. Your mama done did everything. Amazing. So I hate that. And like you said, that's he's fine with it. That's what he knows her as. That's what he know about her. He know who he married. He know what he got. They seem happy and they seem just fine. But it's this thing, I think, where sometimes that comes from is that a lot of times men think that we purely exist just for them. Everything that we do, we don't have our own personalities. We don't have our own likes. We don't have our own desires. We don't have our own things that we like to do. Everything that we do, especially when it comes to sexualized things, has to be linked to a dude. It can't possibly just be my sexuality or the way I do things, how I roll. It's like what I do in my sexuality, I did it with my ex-boyfriend. I did with that ex-boyfriend for that. I did with that ex-boyfriend that. It didn't come along when I met you, dude. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it existed before you did. Sorry.
Look,
and
Kelly
a lot of
ain't nobody special to Kelly. Everybody got that same treatment.
Well, listen, that might be the best way to be.
Guess what you gonna get special treatment from me when it comes to domestic things. If I do those domestic things, that's how you know you special to me. Because I don't
Kelly
like
said you ain't getting them special treatments until she get that.
No, and honestly, I don't even want that because I like legit don't even know if I ever even want that because this whole I just don't think it's necessary just for me personally. If I want something with you, if I want something solidified, we need to I need you to be my power of attorney. You can sign a paper for that. Oh, I want us to live together and us to have like this deed. You can put my name on your deed. Oh, I want you to be my beneficiary in my will. You can sign
marriage is all right for some people. Marriage is all right for somebody, but listen, I want the tax shelter of it. That's all I want.
And that's a perk. That's a perk.
Wait, what you say? You said you want what?
I want the tax shelter of it. I want them credits. And
that's only if they got good credit, because I know some people who marry somebody who they kind of worse off.
No, I'm talking about when you file your taxes. I want them the exemptions and them credits.
Or if you be like the people that I know who personally kind of in the hole, you kind of signing on for some extra BS that you ain't need to be
in. That's real.
I get married.
It's like, I don't necessarily see the perks as far as for me as a woman. I have my children, so it's like that's fine. I've never been one of those people that's like, I need to have a kid have the same last name as me, because if I get married, I ain't gonna change my last name. No way. I've been Kelly B for 36 years. It ain't gonna change. I can hyphenate it, but I'm not gonna change it. It's like, why do I need to do that? So I don't need that for that. I don't want to sign on to sit up there and have somebody that I got to make appointments for, and I was just having to worry about me and mine before, and now I got some extra work to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want an extra person to clean up after. I don't want an extra person to take up. I just don't. I'm sorry, but like you said. But yeah, that's his wife. That's who he chose as his person. Now you can good luck with it. You can find you a good demure girl. Oh, that's the other thing that gets me about this though. This whole twerking thing and stuff we do. Everybody always want to tap back into Mother Africa when it comes to certain things. Except for twerking. You see them African videos, twerking is like in our DNA. It just is. It's something about
Okay,
it is. It's like in our DNA, that beat and doing all that in the hips and stuff. We can't help it if we got the peaches. It just is what it is. But it's like that's just like something that we do when it comes to wearing the wigs. How long have a lot of tribes Africa been wearing wigs and stuff like that? Now that's a problem. When it comes to wearing makeup, humans been wearing makeup since they had seashells and could put together some clay and put some stuff on.
That's the conversation I had with my boyfriend. I was like, Black women been wearing weaves since Africa.
Ever. So it's okay when it comes to the Egyptians and stuff like that, when there's a regalness on it, but when you're ashamed of you and who you
but Egypt ain't in Africa, ma'am, remember?
Oh yeah, that's what they said. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's different people there. There are Persians and Romans.
No, it's Africa.
Type of people.
It's still Africa.
It's still Africa, but it ain't quite us. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, because actually, those pharaohs back in the day, they actually was our color.
Yeah, they definitely had some, but for the most part, especially when it came to the royal families and stuff like that, because they inbred. It was Persian, Roman-esque looking people, but when it comes to all of that stuff, it's like y'all okay with like taking it on. Oh, that's Mother Africa and stuff, but when it comes to demean Black women and to put us down, now all of a sudden it's a negative. I'm gonna need y'all to make up y'all minds on what you uphold. Actually, I don't need you to make up your minds because y'all don't know. So it's like we just gonna do what we do, and you take us on or you don't. That's all.
Another crazy thing about it, as a closer for this, the funny thing that I noticed in this clip is not what everybody else looked at. I'm gonna show you what I looked at. Let me pull this back up real quick. You know what literally drove me crazy? It was nothing to do with her twerking. It was to her left. It was them gas prices.
I was about to say that. It was
them gas prices for Georgia.
Them Cali prices.
Oh, them Cali.
No, because you know what's really funny, Jametrice? I was saying they said some parts like Cali were like at 9 something. I was like, if for $6 for Georgia.
Oh, wait, she in Georgia?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she is from AC. I forgot. Yeah.
So that's what's making my heart hurt deep down inside. It ain't got nothing to do with her twerking. It has to do with these gas prices, which takes us to
she got the money because she is Shell.
I don't mess with Shell. She like Shell, ever since Shell hung that Obama doll hanging, I can't mess with nobody at a Shell. I'm sorry. Back when he won his first election, there was a Shell. You know how Shells are what's it called? What's the word? When they own privately. I can't remember what it is right now. I'm having a brain fart. They're
I don't know.
You know when you own like when you own a restaurant that's a big chain.
Oh, it's franchise.
It's franchise. So at the franchise Shell, they got upset because they were people of color that Obama won his first election and had a little doll like Obama with a noose around his neck hanging at the Shell. Ever since then, I have never touched a piece of Shell gas because Shell didn't disavow this person. They didn't get rid of this person. I was like, oh, nope. Won't be going to Shell. So guess what? I'm going to roll on over to this good old Costco because it's cheaper anyway. I'm going to roll over to this good old Exxon or something, but I do not mess with Shell. But that takes us to our last topic of the day, which I'm going to call the Millennial Dilemma. And it has to do moreover with the stuff that millennials are going through right now. It's crazy. So a study basically was showing about basically home ownership and basically our financial situation of being millennials. Now, true enough, I don't even like the term millennials because I'm the first to tell you I got to be something else. I cannot be a millennial because millennials don't make no sense to me. But it was saying basically gas prices being as high as they are basically, and our student loan debt, and how basically at this particular point we will never be able to match with our previous generations did. Right now, home ownership for us, put these facts out here for everybody. Home ownership for millennials is at 48.6%. Generation X, which is right above us, is at 68%, and baby boomers, 78% of them own homes. So we can't even buy houses because of these gas prices you see over here. Student loans, we can't get off under our student loans. And they're saying there's over 200 organizations right now. They made up an advocacy group called the Borrowers Protection Center. And they signed basically an open letter to Biden asking him to cancel student loan debt by the August 31st deadline. Because, when that was part of the promise he and his counterpart made when they came in was that they're going to cancel this student loan for people who are of color, of African Americans who have generational, debt, and these people that went to HBCUs, as well as people that make under a certain income a year. We have not seen any of that, and they keep sitting on it. And that is they're saying that's part of the reason why our generation will never be able to own homes, because we have too much debt. And because college was the most expensive when you and I were in school versus the people before us. And now after us, you have all these schools that are saying they're making their education free. So for us millennials, what do? We're stuck in the millennial dilemma. We also got people telling us what we can't do with our bodies now. So, got Supreme Court running around here telling us, abortion is egregiously wrong. The millennials are, to me, the set of people right now that are just, we are never going to get ahead. We can't do anything. You can't make a decision about what you want to do with your body. You can't pay for your gas half the time, which I'm blessed that Lord gave me a good paying job. I can pay for my gas. We can't buy a home. We can't get rid of student loan debt. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do, Kelly?
I don't know what we're going to do. I think eventually it has to. Things were cheaper back in the day, definitely. Things where it was much accessible for you to have a living wage. How long has it been? Like, inflation has been going on since how long? And we still haven't caught up in the last 40 years due to inflation, and we had a new inflation. Prices are going up, but our incomes aren't matching. You have people capitalizing on the Airbnb markets where they're buying up all of these houses where I couldn't even get a chance to get a house if I wanted to, because y'all buying them up and then y'all renting them out and you making, all your money there. I think too much stuff is rich person based. It's not for the poor man. And unfortunately, we keep trying to reach this unattainable goal. At least for us, we keep trying to reach this unattainable. This is not going to happen. And until we kind of all come together as the masses and be like, look, some math ain't math. And how is it that y'all got most of the wealth? Why do y'all keep getting to capitalize and corner markets on stuff? Why is it that, the average person can't get by, but it's like y'all got more than enough money? Because don't get me wrong, say with Jeff Bezos and things like that, I've been around since Amazon first was selling the little penny books and stuff like that. I used to rack up on that stuff, and I have seen the evolution, but there's no way that you should be able to get by with not paying taxes for stuff like that. There's no way, especially when you tax me up the butt for me to buy the product that I'm getting off your thing. Why is it that I have to pay for the taxes for your stuff, but you don't have to then in turn pay taxes? It's something, it's very disproportionate as far as income goes. And not only that, I think in some ways too, we kind of got to take responsibility as people and get to the point where we actually paying attention and
hold them accountable. You make these promises, you gonna live up to them.
Yeah, but it's hard to
community, because the Jewish community, they stick together. White people always had a hand up on everybody else. See, Black people, everybody want to do everything alone. And I was just I just came across a lady's post where she said that it's some young men that have had strokes. She said, nice, handsome Black young men. And
Girl, I saw that video.
Yeah, but it made sense as to even just being single. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's true or not, a lot of the men want to be single and they want to play the field. But then if something does happen to you, you know what I'm saying? Who's there to take care of you? Who is there to take care of you? Me and my situation, my family ain't close. We all have talent. Me and my uncle talk about this all the time, how everybody's talented, but nobody wants to come together for whatever reason to make up something bigger, to have something sustainable, something, worth doing. So if we don't stick together, we can't even stick together in our own families, in our own, friendships. It's almost it's sometimes just competing, nobody wants to see the next person doing better than the next person.
But and to bring it back to it though, I understand that Black people, we're gonna always have we have to work a little harder to get our leg up. But my main thing about this is, in general, just millennials, even white millennials, are facing the same garbage we are facing. It's just like I said, the government is not for the millennial right now. What are they? I don't even know what they call the people after us. What are they called?
Gen Zers, Gen Z, yeah,
Is that what it is? Gen Z?
yeah.
Those people, even them.
Is that us?
No, X is
No.
right before us, but I will claim X real quick because they stopped right at them 80s when we
And
was
like 80,
coming in.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, so 81-ish. I'm a Gen X. I would be a Gen X if they would give me my student loans taken care of. But that's what I'm saying. So in general, we can't like now because we are the people that are in that millennial phase. We're the people in that group that even when the Supreme Court decides they want to tell us what we can and can't do with our bodies, that's our generation that's going to be dealing with a lot of that. Just like us not being able to buy the house, it's the home ownership is just not going to be there. The gas prices don't seem to have anywhere that they're trying to go right now. So we're gonna forever have these. Like I don't like if I didn't have a Costco membership, I would be so mad.
It's
We're
money.
getting gas.
In America, money rules. It just does. Because there is no way that you can overturn to tell me what I do with my body as far as like having a kid. But then I can turn around and also get persecuted for saying that a woman is a woman. But it's you know why? Because when it comes to women's debates and things like that, we don't have the lobbyists that unfortunately the LGBT community does. So it's like it depends on if you got that scratch to make people give a damn. That's the reason why the Black agenda can't get pushed, because we don't have the scratch and we don't have the money and we don't have to give a damn about that. And if you think about it, when it comes to like the LGBT things, you get everybody. How you get men, women, gay women, you get companies, especially because they don't want nobody to stop buying their stuff. Everybody gets behind that, and so they're able to get their agendas pushed quicker. But then when it comes to, and that's why, you know what, that would put us into a whole nother something about talking about something else. Because that's why I say that's the reason why when I say, don't get me wrong, okay, everybody deserves the right to live in this world and not be, ostracized or not be abused. Absolutely. But I was saying before, women, when you do that and when you go in gung ho, you're telling them that we don't have anything that we're fighting for. We're cool. We don't need anything. So when you put a person, unfortunately, like trans people, you do what you do. But when you say that a trans person is exactly the same as a woman, as a cis woman, like y'all like to say, you say that there is no plight, that this cis woman doesn't need extra things, because they're the same as this one. So no, they don't need extra stuff. They don't need extra protection because they're the same. They're already getting protection here. No. We're different, so we need different things. And I think a lot of times when it came to that, it hurt us for the most part. And it also, like I said, they don't have the scratch. People were taking money away from Planned Parenthood. People were taking, they were lobbying against them. They were it's just because the idea of it, unfortunately, this is still a patriarchal society, and unfortunately a lot of women also hold up that patriarchy, because for some reason when it comes to, I don't know what is it up with women with that, because dudes, it's like they'll sit up there even when they dead wrong, they'll sit up there and take up for them like, nope, wait, should have did that, should have did this. They will take up them because they can understand from a dude's plight. But there is something about, like, with other women, for some reason we can't look at other women, like we can't put our own experiences in other women to like say, okay, I understand where she is coming from too. Even down to, like I said, with the Summer Walker thing, where it's like, how would you feel if you were with this guy and it's like he wasn't talking to your kid, he wasn't having nothing to do with your kids and stuff like that, and here come the girlfriend coming along trying to tell me what I'm doing wrong, and she wasn't there when we to make this kid in the first place. Like, who are you? Like, you new here. Like, you can't even look at me from a woman's perspective. You love this man so much. Imagine you having a baby with this man and he absolutely just abandon you and your child. You couldn't understand that until it actually happened to you. Like,
because we're taught to prioritize the man over ourselves.
Yeah. And it's like that whole thing, not want to be cold at night. But I think that's what happens when it fortunately for the government, they are able to do things like they do because people are so busy trying to keep up, trying to stay above water, trying to find it. Nobody has time to give a damn about what they doing in the government, what they what didn't get voted on, what did get voted on. I got to pay my rent tomorrow. I got to figure out how to find me some gas. I got to find me some food. I ain't got time to be worried about all that extra stuff. And unfortunately, they take advantage of that because they know, and that's the reason why they do the things they do. It's like, keep them busy over there, they won't know what we're doing over here. That slide of the hand trick type of thing. And I think that's the millennials issue too. And then you give them a little bit of internet, it's like more things to distract them from it. It's
like give them a whole new social media platform to play with. They got it.
They'll be okay. They'll be fine. Oh, let's give them this little bit of something. Let's give them this little bit of, here's a little piece of something here. Oh, we're gonna get rid of all the Sally Mae stuff. All the people for like Everest.
That ain't even get rid of Sally Mae, because Sally Mae's still looking for me, and I'm not. Oh, even
I'm so glad I never signed up for Sally Mae.
It is the most. Ugh.
I was right there.
That's some egregious behavior right there.
Man, and you know what? When I first signed up for it, I remember before I became a phlebotomist, I was gonna go be a surgical tech. And then I remember them. I had been to college before, and I saw how much that cost. So then when I saw the contract for Sally Mae, I'm like, I gotta pay all this money, and I ain't even gonna get a check back.
Listen, my original loan for Sally Mae was like maybe $8,000. My original loan for Sally Mae was like maybe $8,000, a little over $8,000. When everything was said and done, do you know that thing went up to like $30,000? And I was like, you've got to be kidding me! Like, that's more than 3 times what you gave me. You got to be crazy. I'm not. You won't get a nickel, dime, quarter, anything from me.
That's why I was like, when I saw that, I was like, nope. You say what, Jametrice?
I think I'm still in deferment.
I mean, we all, well, technically, if you have a federal loan, you are until August 31st. That's why all these advocacy groups saying you need to make good on what you said. You really need student loan before the 31st. They said, because when you do that, they said millennials will not be able to sustain life if you put those back into payment. We can't pay it. And the gas prices and the fact that the jobs are not paying people what you were promised when you went to school. You went to school because you were told you were going to make all this money. Well, where did it? I got a whole master's degree, and I'm like, literally, should be making I should be in the mid 6 figures somewhere, if you ask me.
And then two people that are degreed higher, that have higher degrees, they shouldn't be getting paid no entry level. And I mean, that's what you work for. If you're gonna work at a company, whatever I shouldn't be getting paid the same as people that just walked in here. I shouldn't be getting paid as somebody that didn't go, that didn't exceed the education level that I exceeded, because that's what I work for. Like, and that's why I got more student loans too than them.
And that's where the companies also take advantage of you, because then they turn around and they tell the other coworkers, "Oh, don't tell them how much you're making."
Girl, if I hear somebody else say that to somebody,
it's not even they won't even hire you because you are too qualified.
Mm-hmm. That's a con game. That's a con.
Now, because I don't want to pay you what your worth is.
And I had that exact conversation with a coworker. I said, it's crazy when you have managers and supervisors that have less education than you are, but then they have this and you got this, and you're like, I have more education than you. You make maybe 2-3 times more than me, and you come to me to help you do your job. What's wrong with that picture?
And that's when you got to be like, no, but then you seen us, oh, you're not a team player. No, I'm not. Sure not. Sure ain't. Sorry.
That's my new way of living it right now. I'm like, listen, if you above me, you better figure it out, because you're supposed to be able to do my job and your job. Okay.
Thank you. That's why you telling me some stuff. No, I'm gonna need you to work. I'm gonna need you to live up to that job title of yours. There.
So yeah, I don't know at the end of the millennial decision what we're gonna do. I think we are kind of stuck right now.
Because we have to get it has to be, but like I said, it's hard, like with the distractions of life. You have to get to a point where you actually give a damn about what's going on in the government, because unfortunately the government is a rich man playing ground. This whole thing that we got a democracy is BS. Even that we even got a republic half the time is BS. We got a little mini monarchy. So I break it to you where the people of the Senate and the rich people are the elite, and everybody else just fall in line. Unfortunately, the little things where you hear people yelling, "I got my rights, I got my this, whatever." Those are the little rights they give you. on the lower level. It's like, all right, keep them occupied, keep them dancing for a little bit, keep them entertained, give them a popsicle over their hand now. But for the most part, it's like you can sit up, you can vote for whoever you want to when they get in them circles, when they get tainted, when they do all that stuff. That's why I say politician. I like Obama, but I still think he a politician too. So he is to a certain extent. All of them, when you get in those elite circles, it is an absolute different game. They do power is a blip, and they got a lot of it. And it don't matter what you say, what you want. If they want to hush up, they gonna do it. And it's unfortunate. It's gonna take the masses. I keep forgetting what that doctrine is, and they know it. It's like a doctrine or something like that out where they were like, the day that our government is going to collapse and the day that things are going to hit the fan and it's going to be bad for us is when the masses figure out that they got more to power than we do. If they actually get together and they come together to get us, we screwed. But we can't seem to do that.
And storm the Capitol. I mean,
nothing happened.
It just showed us
nothing.
Look, they showed us, but we still can't do it though.
Yeah, we gotta get some sprinkles. We gotta put them on the front line.
You storm that Capitol if you want.
You gotta be in the back.
If you ever get out,
let them go in the front.
Get out. But we can't do it. But if they get mad enough, you see, this is the thing with white folks. When they get mad enough, they storm Capitals. Let them get.
We can storm the Capitol too. We just ain't gonna get out of prison ever in our lifetime, honey. It's not gonna happen.
Listen, we gonna get.
But right,
and they gonna come and try to figure out who the rest of your family is, so they can make sure they ain't trying to try.
Oh, you put it up to it. I'm gonna put you in there too.
Exactly. So hopefully they can continue to get mad too, because if they can get mad, go on storm that Capitol again.
Yeah, go do it for us. Hey, good luck. Tell me
how your demands on the table. The gas prices. Tell them the demands you want. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Nothing happened to you before.
Real talk. That's crazy.
You'll be all right.
And you know what's crazy is the thing that get me about that. I know it's like we always talk about race or whatever. The thing that get me about that is, like, you ever seen even like not just like white people giving a damn about what white people say. You ever seen like black folks giving a damn more about the white plight than their own plight?
Yes, I have.
And I be like, wait, what's going on? Like, I've seen, especially like, hey, sorry, white woman crying. Everybody, including the black man, will come to her rescue. Wait, well, why would you do that? Well, you could have done it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you where we did it. Do you remember when we decided to pass this anti-Asian hate bill? And we was all like, they doing this. I was like, but wait a minute, where my anti-black hate bill? Yeah, out here George Floyding us. And we don't get no anti-hate bill, and that's been happening
a month ago. Just happened a month ago. Anti-lynching, and it's like that should be that
the top of your list because it happens more often.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Who they care more about, like how you just said, even with the whole LGBTQ community and how they trying to see now they probably against abortions because they want to be the man and have the baby,
Well, then we might be able to get it back because they can.
I don't even think they care about that. They want to be able to adopt their babies. They want to be able to, get them in. I don't even think they care about that half the time when it comes to, and that's the thing that I was saying, like before, when they were doing like, the trans marches and stuff like that. Like when that women's march for like, Trump talk about he grabbing the grab about what you call it. How many trans people, especially trans, like from men to women, did you see in those crowds? How many people did you hear them speaking up about it? But you got all of these girls that want to be hags coming along with the dudes going, yes, this is wrong. I got my gay best friend here, yada yada. But when it comes to your plight, they don't. It seems to be no care. How does that happen? Like, I don't understand. And then it's like you don't even you can't even bring it up or you can't even say anything about it because then because then now you're being homophobic. Like, I'm just trying to say some math ain't math, and I seem to care more about your stuff than you seem to care about mine. Like, I don't understand. And that's when I
say nothing because that it does feel like that too. And then how they want to, like, they don't have nothing to say when it comes down to our things that protect us, things that is most important to us, that, and we are women.
Mm-hmm.
We are women. We have the ability to bear children, unfortunately those that can't, due to whatever medical issues, but for the most part we were put here to bear children, but by our own choice. Like, you can't take everything away from us. And then it's still a controlling thing, because y'all may have gave R. Kelly his 30 years, but come on now, how many people then hard a woman, and got less slap on the wrist,
Got away with it,
because it's always made to be okay, because it's this control thing. That's what they, especially to Black women, they've done that to us for centuries.
a lot of men, I think, just think we are literally here just purely for their entertainment. I hate to be like that, and I really hate to be like that, because I know, let me just put this disclaimer out there. I have many male cousins that are great fathers. I have a great father for my kids. We got some work to do. But as far as like in the dating department, but with those, I have great male role models in my life, but I've also, in conversations with these males, the way they say things or the way they reference how women, when it comes to sexuality and things, they all have this running thing for some reason that it's like, we do things for them. Why are you not doing this thing? Because I want you to do this thing. Why do you not do this thing? Forgetting that I have my own brain, because I don't want to. It's like, why is that so hard for you to wrap your head around the fact that I'm not doing this because I don't want to, because that's my choice. Like, and they all, even like the guys I date, it's like, well, why don't you do this for me? Why don't you do this for me? And I ain't heard you do not a damn thing for me. Why? And then you look at me crazy when I ask you why you don't want to do something for me. Like, oh, like, you want that? How dare
that
you want something for
misogynistic
you?
behavior, that
Right.
ego, that just everything that goes into what men, are, or what they think they are, and the power that they feel they have over us, and so they think, yeah, they take that term like the whole real thing, like, we could be here to be a helpmate, but in reality, if I'm not your wife, and
I ain't
even
gotta do it.
as certain things that come as a wife. I'm single,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to do nothing. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but when you speak up and you talk like that, or you, especially Black women, because then it's like, oh, she got too much mouth, or an attitude, or the angry Black woman, because
Oh
or
God.
she's not submissive, or I hear some men talk like that, like, that's why I don't date no Black girls, or I don't do that,
Because
because
you
we
weak.
speak up, or because
We
we
don't
don't
want you anyway.
Thank you. Because you weak.
right.
We don't
Hello.
want you no way.
Maybe nobody wants you anyway.
Because I've had a dude to say like I'm argumentative or whatever. That's because he would say like wrong stuff, and then I would correct him. He didn't like that, but whatever. But but I mainly date dudes that have no problem with the way I am, like as a like person per se. Like, you pick me, that's what you want. Like, I never understand when dudes say, they don't want to be submissive. And I actually brought this up to an ex of mine. I was like, you ever thought about the fact that maybe Black women ain't meant to be submissive in that way? It's like, when it bring it on back to the motherland. Even in Africa now, yeah, we might put you as head of the household and you can have a bunch of wives, but the person that runs the household is the women, is the mother. Maybe that's just what we are. I feel like sometimes when it comes to our Black men, y'all keep trying to fit in what the Western society, aka white people, do, when really maybe that's just not in our DNA. A lot of times women lead the household. They just do. We have a certain personality as we are as Black women, to where it's like this take charge mentality. Don't get me wrong, I don't think somebody should be emasculating you or anything like that and putting you down and saying all this stuff, but as far as like take charge, that's what we are as women. That's the reason why when you have daughters, you be like, oh, she a handful of stuff. Just from what I've seen of my daughter and like my son, don't get me wrong, my son, like especially my oldest son, he is very much so, he wants to take care of you. He wants to, make sure you okay. He wants all of that. My daughter has always been that person where it's like, no, man, that's okay. I'm gonna do it. I got it. I'm gonna do this. Like, no, show me how to do it. I want to do it myself. No, I want to do this. It's like gung-ho, going to it, want to do it assertive. She knows what she wants. She has no problem with saying, this is what I like, this is what I want, this is what I do. And I think that's just who we are as women. There is no way that I can raise children and bring children up if I'm not assertive, if I don't have that take charge, that I am in charge of these children. There's no way that I could be that nurturing person if I'm not, everywhere and paying attention to every aspect of my life, not just me spitting out a child. I have to be able to run a household. I have to be able to make sure that my family eats. I have to be able to organize. I have to be able to do that thing. That's just in me, in my DNA as a woman to do. So it's like, if that comes off as bossy to you, I don't know what to tell you. Guess what? A lot of y'all wouldn't be living if the mama did not, especially unfortunately in the Black community. And not to say everybody mama was great, not to say everything was great, but a lot of times, guess what? Well, your daddy skipped out and your mama decided to stay around and mess you up. A lot of y'all wouldn't be around if it wasn't for her. Be for her take charge attitude, unfortunately. So it is. I don't know. I just always think of that. Don't get me wrong. I think we have to do a lot of things where we have to figure out. I don't like this, all these manosphere things and all these, even some of the women, like the things that I see where they're like, these dudes ain't nothing and yada yada. Like I said, I know a lot of great men. I know a lot of great men. I know a lot of great fathers. I know, and this ain't a man bashing thing, but I can only speak about the things I don't like about men because I only date men. So it's like, that's my experience with men.
All right, Kim, I'll cut you off. But we are almost 2 hours in, so we're gonna do a wrap up, and you can catch us on the next show on the flip side. Any final thoughts about any topics that we had today, Jametrice?
Free arc and all playing.
That's this time of remove.
No. Great show, ladies. No real final thoughts. Do the crime, do the time. I think especially as like when it comes to us Black folks, we like to believe that we are free in a sense and we have rights, but the moment they can catch us doing something and they can get us, they'll get us, so if you don't, we human, but if you ain't doing a bunch of crime and everything like that, then you don't have to worry about, I'm not gonna say you don't have to worry about things, but don't put yourself in predicaments that you could go to jail for life, 30 years, whatever, Back in the day, they'll lock you up for some weed, and there's people that's still in jail behind some weed, So just listen, it's so much going on. We got a lot going on. So don't do nothing extra to put yourself behind those bars.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Kelly, any final thoughts?
No. Just for the people, like I said, the guys that see this, I love y'all, my cousins and stuff. I bash y'all, I promise. But like you said, Jametrice, I agree with you. Like, yeah, do the time. Oh, white folks do this, so it don't mean it's right. We say we don't want to be like them, so don't be like them.
So my final thoughts are: don't drop the soap, aura. Summer, just own it. If you wanna be sexy, be sexy.
Do it better.
To these politicians out there, let me close my mic. I need some student loan forgiveness.
Me too, please.
Can I either get some student loan forgiveness? Can you increase the rate of pay for us? Do something, because you got to make it so people can live. We can't pay tax. I'm gonna start saying what they say, they're indigenous or whatever, and they ain't got to pay taxes. I'm gonna start saying that if y'all don't help me out over here.
Indian in me, so I think
right.
You got to be.
Because I'm literally a quarter.
Right? I'm
a quarter.
Okay, I'm about to say how much you got to have in order to do that.
I don't know, but I'm a quarter, so I will mess around and stop it. So I'm just saying, help us out. We here, we doing what we're supposed to do, and we should be rewarded for doing what we're supposed to do. There's a lot of people who don't. So once again, this is 3Ps on the pod. I will also include my social, and then we'll put it on the screen here for you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next time. I am one of your hosts, LB Shari, and I can be found on Instagram at status quo 85.
I'm Kelly B. You can find me on Instagram. Don't go on Facebook, but y'all can find me on Instagram at KB. That's me.
And I am Jametrice Thomas, and you can find me on Instagram at jrochelle1013 or on Facebook, Jametrice Thomas.
All right, we will see you on the next show.
Bye.
Bye.